Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mia Build Developer Community session. In this session, we are going to be taking you through rapid innovation and some of the amazing tools that you can use to power your current apps and move them from phenomenal to absolutely spectacular in a very short amount of time. And I have a panel of amazing guests with us here today. And even better yet, we're not going to be talking. They're actually going to be doing. They're going to be building this stuff so you can see how it's done. And rapid innovation. It's all about innovating rapidly. There you go. That's the definition. Of course, that's a terrible definition. And so allow me to invite the man who handles application innovation for us here at Microsoft in Middle East and Africa, Mr. Adiron, to introduce to us the concept of rapid innovation, what it truly means, and then we'll hand it over to some amazing community ambassadors, MVPs as we call them. That's most valuable professionals. They'll take us through some of these really amazing demos of how you can take rapid innovation solutions and use them to power your next application. If you want to follow along with them, please be sure to check out the link aka.ms/Mia Rapid Innovation. There might be a link down below. I don't know. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to hand it to Adair to introduce us to the concept of rapid innovation. I'm your host, Lawrence, and I'll be here to walk with you through this amazing journey. Over to you, Adair.
Thanks, Lawrence. So, we're all about dev empowerment here at Build, and I'm happy to share with you a great best practice from the Middle East and Africa region for infusing quick innovation to any application in the world. My name's Adiron, and I'm the Cloud Application Innovation Lead for Middle East and Africa in Microsoft. And I'm truly excited to kickstart this demo extravaganza and show all of you the epic demos that we prepared for you today. So what is rapid innovation? Pretty simple, really. All you need to know is those three design principles. First of all, it's all about innovative features. Embrace those new digital trends and quickly introduce them into your existing applications. It can start from multi-channel customer experience, continue with cognitive search, and end up with driving AI at scale without writing a single line of code. We have a full stack of those cloud APIs in Azure, so we got you covered. Second, quick delivery. So quick that we can even commit to 1 to 5 days implementation, from code to production. Here is where we're using our secret sauce, GitHub. We have prepackaged code for you to download and simply copy to your application. Now, I know we all love those demos where speakers are writing the code live and then miserably fail, but in this session, it will be more like real world coding. We're going to customize someone else's code. Now, I know what you're thinking, but hey, it's not cheating if it's by design, right? Lastly, no migration to Azure required to use those cloud APIs and GitHub code packages. You can be running legacy app on-premise or have a full cloud native architecture in Azure to use it. We only chose the most inclusive APIs out there. You know what? It would even work on AWS and Google, but let's not tell the other clouds, as some of them are not a firm believer in open cloud concepts. All right, enough talk, and let's explore the hero solutions in our demo extravaganza today. Well, we may not be able to superpower your old toaster, although getting this one would be really epic, but let's see how we can superpower your apps in less than 5 days. First demo, remote communication to existing apps. Add voice and video calling into any app and transform your basic chatbot capabilities into a multi-channel communication experience. This year has taught us to embrace the remote-first experiences in the way that we provide customer support. In the demo, we will show you how to provide in-app, in-context customer communication with just a few lines of code and the amazing Azure Communication Services APIs. Second demo, enable AI-powered application search. Now, this is not your traditional basic search experience, but rather a cloud-powered AI search with lots of capabilities that will amaze you and your customers. It takes care of the full cycle, ingestion, enrichment, and exploration of structured and unstructured content for web, mobile, or internal application. This Azure Cognitive Search APIs will blow your mind, guaranteed. And last one for the day, build rapid AI models with zero code. This one is aimed to help you create new insights from your data by simplifying tasks with pre-built AI scenarios. Even if you slept through your statistics course in college, you can become a very powerful analyst with this tool and give your fellow data scientists a run for their money. With AI Builder, it's easy to build, train, and publish AI models using templates without writing a single line of code. You can publish a model in less than 1 hour. It's that simple, and you will see it in a few minutes. Okay, so before kickstarting this demo extravaganza, I just have one last ask from you. This is a digital event, so you don't have to sit in the audience and just listen. You can build it with us. Rapid Innovation was designed in a very do-it-yourself approach, so feel free to follow our steps and build all three of them with us and the support of the Rapid Innovation Solution Hub website in the MIA Cloud Society portal. And with that, let's kickstart the first demo for enabling remote communication. Lawrence, take it away.
Thank you, Adair. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's hand it over to Vered.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so very much for joining me today. My name is Vered Segal, and I'm a developer and a tech lead with over 10 years of experience in the tech industry. Today, I would like to introduce you to one of the coolest services I've seen lately, Azure Communication Services, also known as ACS. ACS provides a new set of features in Azure Cloud that enable developers to add to their apps audio and video capabilities, chat and text messages capabilities, as well as old-school telephony capabilities. This new set of services are the first fully managed communication platform offering from a major cloud provider. Cool, isn't it? So in the next couple of minutes, we will see what ACS is and how you can use it in your own apps. So let's get started. So if you're building a web application, mobile application, or desktop application, and you want to add something like video to your app, whether it's one-to-one call or one-to-many calls, then you can use ACS. If you'd also like to add real-time chat capabilities, phone type capabilities like calls and SMS, you can also use ACS for that. But the really exciting thing for us, the developers, is that we don't need to worry about anything besides the code, we can let ACS take care of the infrastructure, the server, the video encoding, etc. Now, let me walk you through a very quick introduction, and then we will jump right into a quick demo that is available, by the way, in GitHub. Okay, you can, go to GitHub, you can clone the demo and use it by yourself. So let's see. Let's say, we have a web application and you want to add ACS capabilities. So the first thing we will need to do is create an ACS asset in Azure. When we create ACS service, we can get a connection string, okay? Then we will need to build some backend functionality because we will need to connect to the ACS service, and then we can get an access token back. That access token can be used to actually generate the audio, video, chat, SMS, all the capabilities we just talked about. So our client, whether it's a mobile, desktop, or web application, can then make a call to our backend service and get an access token. This token can then be used to generate the audio and video, as mentioned. And to illustrate all of this, let me now walk you through a demonstration. The demo we will show is provided by the ACS team and is called Calling Hero. And it's literally, embedding some of the different conference applications capabilities we all used to, and doing it straight from the browser. Okay, this is super cool and exciting. Let me now share the VS Code. Cool. Here's the project. You will have to go through the README file. As you can see here, you have all the information you need about the sample. Then you will need to create an ACS in Azure, okay, with the CLI or the portal, and get a connection string. As I already mentioned, this is a really straightforward process to create an ACS. Once we got our connection string, okay, let's get into the calling directory right here. We can see the app settings JSON file. Inside, okay, this JSON file, under the resource connection string key, we can put our connection string. Okay, so after we finished with pasting our connection string, we can move forward to the small backend piece we got under controller directory here, as you can see here. Okay, which basically all it does is issues a token, okay, to whom, to any clients which wants or need a token, okay. We also got React frontend, which got a few components. The React frontend client is here under client application, under source. The first component, you typically would start with is called group call, as you can see here. Okay, the React client basically calls the backend, as we saw, the controller APIs, RESTful APIs we've created, and then ask for a token, an access token, right? So I think we're ready to go and start typing a few commands. Okay, you will see how straightforward and neat it is. So the first command is .NET restore. The next one is .NET build. And the next one, once we are ready and the build passed, we can run .NET run. So once this all done, you can come on back up and click the link here, localhost, okay, 5001, as you can see here. Let's click and let's go ahead and open it. All right, okay, so here it is. This is our application. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start a call, okay? And this is gonna kick off basically the backend service that you saw, the controller, to get an access token, okay? First, the backend, the controller is connecting with the connection string to the ACS, and then the front and the React client gets an access token, okay? All the components are fired as well. So let's start a call, okay? Let's see what it does. It's pretty neat, as you can see. Okay, so now we can pick a name. Let's say Verid1, okay? Oh, we got a problem because I have only one camera, sorry, and I'm using it. So if it's okay with you, I will stop my video and refresh and do it again. And now we can see that, hopefully, yes. So now I got a camera that open the video. As you can see, I'm here now. Great, amazing. So let's start a call. If you're familiar with the Microsoft Teams, I guess that the UX here will feel natural to you, right? You got the settings, the participant, as you can see, at least you can disable and enable the video as well as the audio. And now, if you will let me, I will invite another participant. I will invite myself because I'm running on localhost. That's why I cannot do it right now. So let's copy the join info, right? The invite, and we'll open a new browser tab. I paste this invite, and let's see. So let's start a call. Amazing. Okay, now we are going to have two participants. Hi everyone. Our local stream and remote stream. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you can do. I think ACS brings impressive capabilities. When I first saw that, I went like, okay, this is cool, I can do some really fun stuff with this. I know this demo does not include, by the way, the chats, the SMS capabilities. There are tons of other capabilities which are even cooler, if you will. If you want to embed other capabilities, you can, of course, go to ACS GitHub site. You can find, get more info there and samples to use. So that was me. thank you for giving me a listen here. I hope this helps you get a little bit excited about ACS and what it can do for us. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you, Vered, for showing us some of the amazing ways we can bring rich communication experiences into our applications. And with that, ladies and gents, let's head over to Darren and learn a bit more about search.
Thanks, Lawrence. Thank you. So the first thing that I want to share here is this repo that you can access on GitHub. It's called Azure Simple Search.net Getting Started. One of the demos here that I want to highlight is the synonyms demo. This is the repo, just in case. I mean, I'm sure we're going to link this somewhere where you watch this video. But what if I want to start from scratch? What if I have some data and I want to import? So I'm going to click this import data button in here and say, hey, here is a list of data sets, different data sources that I can import that are supported on the portal. I mean, I can write code to import whatever I want, but these are supported on the portal. And I'm going to say, okay, go ahead. I got some stuff on a blob, right? I'm going to give that a name and say, okay, choose existing connection. And I'm going to go and select this DRN COVID data set where I have some JSON stuff. Okay, I'm going to select the JSON container. I got a bunch of JSON files that represent all the COVID research, all the academic COVID research that is out there. I imported that from Microsoft's COVID dataset that you can find out there. It's open source, the dataset. And I'm going to import that into an index so that I can search through that. And for that, I selected the data set and all that. The parsing will be JSON and click next. So the next step is the important thing. This is where we're going to add cognitive skills into the indexing. And when I go there, I'm going to select, I can go with the free tier, but I will go with the paid one to make sure I can run smoothly because there's a lot of data here. I don't think it's going to fit into the free tier. So, and yeah. This is where we're creating the enrichment. This is called enrichment because we're going to enrich the data by adding additional data and meaning, extracting meaning from the data through the use of cognitive services and AI. And when we do that, the source field in this case, I'm going to say the abstract. So every academic article has an abstract. So I want to look into the abstract text. And from the text, I mean, you can do stuff like, extract me people, extract me organization names, extract location names, extract key phrases so that I can do search with that, or detect the language of the document, or translate the abstract to another language, right? Extract PII data. I mean, in this case, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but for a different data set, it might make sense to extract the PII data and put it somewhere else within the index to be used for different filtering purposes, right? And all these, all these extracted information will be extracted through the use of cognitive services and will be put inside my document. I have a choice there. I can put it somewhere else as well. I can create a separate knowledge base if I want to. I can create into Azure tables or separate blobs. But for now, I'm going to add it into the current document during indexing. And next is where we create our index. So right now, it's looking into the schema of the JSON files that I have in the blobs, and it's going to extract me the index, and there we go. So this is my index schema, and you're going to see that my document has people, organizations, locations, key phrase, and all that stuff that are going to be extracted through the use of cognitive skills, the enrichment that I have. And finally, I'm going to create the indexer, which is going to, go to the data, read the data, and do all this stuff to create the index and all the data that is going to be within the index. I can run it once, hourly, daily, or, trigger it whenever I want. So this takes a while. So I'm not going to run that for now. When we submit, it's going to start running the indexer. I have it ready already. So I have an index here with 73,000 documents that you can see. It's called Cognitive Index for some reason, because I'm very creative with the naming of my indexes. So, and simply do a select star just to see what's in there, right? So, these are coming from the official, data source. These are just ingested, authors, journal, and all that stuff. But these fields or enrichment data, which means these fields are extracted from the abstract. So this is the abstract, okay? We can definitely do full text search with it, but this looks much better. So there's a list of key phrases that I can search as well. And if I scroll down, I'm sure for other, there we go. It looks like this research is somehow related to Beijing and Wuhan. So locations are being extracted, which is, locations were not part of this original data set. It was just hidden in the abstract itself. And I was able to extract that and put it aside so that I can use it for filtering, fastest search, and all the features that Azure Search provides. I can use that for all these additional data. And I'm going to keep scrolling. Here you go. Mostly we got a lot of keywords and locations are there as well. But it doesn't look like we got people. And in the abstracts of academic articles, it looks like, people aren't there. People aren't talking about people in their abstracts, which kind of makes sense. So again, long story short, you got some data. You are able to ingest it with an indexer. And when you do the ingestion, you're able to use AI and cognitive services to enrich your data by extracting stuff from what you have. And in this case, I only had text data. But if you have original data source has images, you can even do OCR and put the result of the OCR into your index for future, search capabilities. So this really, adds additional value into what you have and gives you the capability to maybe expose additional functionality in your search when you are implementing search into your website or mobile applications. So this is really nice. I really like it. I mean, without writing a single line of code, we are actually using a bunch of different cognitive services skills into our indexer. With
this is amazing. I love it. I really do. I'm also learning this stuff with you guys. So no, I love the fact that you can take massive amounts of data and just crunch all that, and then be able to build such against that. Wow, I think that's really amazing. Thank you very much, Darren.
Yeah, thank you. And I use the portal, but again, if you want to automate all this stuff, there are APIs to create indexers. There are APIs to define data sources, everything that I did. There are APIs to automate all that. So if you're willing to do that, you're able to do that.
Wow. Thank you very much. And we're really, really glad to have you. Thank you for taking us through this amazing experience. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, time to hop on to our next guest. AI. We've just had an amazing session with Darren talking about cognitive search and using AI to enable our search. But now let's see what we can do with our already existing data with a hint of Power Platform and a bit of Azure Cognitive Services. Let's head over to our session with Sam. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my next wardrobe change. As you can see, we're now back to another t-shirt. And we are here to learn more about rapid innovation. And this next bit, though, it's a very interesting scenario. Assume you have an e-commerce website and you want to know if a user who hops onto your website is going to buy a product. How will you do it? And most importantly, how will you do it rapidly? And to take us through that, I have Sam Adranyi all the way from Ghana to take us through. And over to you, Sam.
Hey, Lawrence, thanks very much. It's good to see you again. And to piggyback what you said, it's absolutely true. You're an e-commerce, solutions provider or, a platform provider. You have tons and tons of data of sales, of people that come on, of fall-offs, of, bounce backs, of all these. You have this data sitting there. And the power of the AI builder allows you to take this data with little or no code and make meaning out of it to build a service on top of it to know, hey, this person coming to the website, is the person going to buy or not? And that's what I'm going to show you how to rapidly innovate using the AI builder. So let's just jump right into it. Well, if you're not, you've not seen the URL yet, make sure you go to aka.ms.mia-rapid-innovation, which is the screen you're seeing right now. It has all the information you need to rapidly get started. So, hey, I'm not a data scientist, but I want to do this. I want to grow my business. We've got you covered. So once you go onto this side, there's a link to the GitHub repo, and we're going to use something called the AI Builder Online Shopping Intention. This is a prepared solution that Microsoft and the team has put together for you that you can easily tweak to solve the problem. So all you need to do is go into, whether it's your Power App or it's your Power Automate, you go in there and then you go to solutions right here, right? So in solutions, you click import. Now browse, let's go select that model right here, and then you click open. Now what that does is that it creates the corresponding dataverse tables and entities for you that you can use within your solution. And that is what I have done here. So as you can see, I have the AI Builder online shopping intent, I have the solution there, and I have, it's ready to go for me. Now within it, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my data set. So I'm going to show you an example data set. This is a CSV file of all the historic data I have of customers that come to the website, and forgive the acronyms. This could be any data set at all. So these are people that are coming in, the browser they are using, the month of the year they came, whether they are recurring or whether they are a new user, a lot of technical or probably data sets you already have. So what we've done is to take this data set, import it into our online shopping intent dataverse entities. So this data is there. Now, the next thing we need to do now is to build a model on top of this data set, right? I can actually quickly show you something, real quick. So you click on build, and then because you want to do a prediction, all right, you click on predict. And here I can call it, let's say demo predict, and let's get this right. So demo predict, all right? And then we click on create, right? Now, once you click on create, it's going to do all the magic for you, all that. And then you select the table. And if you remember, we did the online shopping. So online shopping intent, that's the table we just imported from that zip file. And then one thing you need to know is the column or the label based on which you want to do your analysis. The final thing is revenue. All this data, does it point to revenue or a sale? So I'm going to go ahead and use the revenue label. So this is telling me that from this data set, I want to make my predictions based on the revenue. So I'm trying to find a yes or a no. So depending on the user's data, is the person going to buy or not? Is the person going to make a purchase or not? You can click next, select the columns you want to use or you want to see as part of your prediction. If you're not too, we are not data scientists, this is local. So you keep the default. The system is smart enough to pick all these settings for you default. So I pick that.
Nice.
I go to next, and filters. If I want to filter just to test a section of the data set, you can do that. But again, low code, no code, the system is smart enough to figure it out for you. I click on next. And what happens is that it starts to prepare my model and I can just click train. It's as simple as that. And once it's done, you can use the model.
Nice.
I didn't have to know any mathematics, no calculus, no matrix, and nothing. And once that's done for you, you can do tons and things of it. You can implement it as a real-time API and slap, some solution on top of it, which I have done quickly. For the sake of time, I'm just going to show you how I did that. So all I did was create a Power Automate, and the scenario here is anytime someone goes to my e-commerce site and start to do things, that data is sent automatically, all right, to my this particular flow. And then it determines based on the data set and the historic data, will this person transition or translate into a revenue? I'm really I'm so in love with this whole platform because it's democratizing AI. I don't have to, all the sciences and all this, craziness behind it. It just works. So I would entreat you, as you're enjoying build, make sure you go try this out. It's free to try out. Have fun, build something new, make some impactful decisions for your business.
Thank you very much, Sam. With that, let's head over. Oh, there it goes. Training is actually complete.
Look at that, 90%. So B, our model is a class B model. And one more thing, with this done, I'll just click publish and I'm ready to use it.
Boom, there we go. Even just before you finished our session.
Exactly.
Let me hop over to my final wardrobe change, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Sam. And please do go check out aka.ms/Mia Rapid Innovation. And with that, let's head over to our closing statements. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. From being able to add extra rich communication, to searching, to building AI models, we hope you've learned how you can actually innovate quite rapidly on your next or your current application. Check out the link aka.ms stroke Mia Rapid Innovation for more. And with that, we are glad to have you. Stay safe, stay awesome, and have an amazing rest of build. Thank you.